Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's live stream. Here we are looking at the social and the news sentiment for the crypto and the stock market. Let's first look at the stock market and the positive sentiments within the stock market. For the last 24 hours, you have Citi, Berkshire Hathaway, Home Depot, Apple, AMD, Pfizer, Baba, Google, Twilio, Amazon, featuring on the positive news. We saw Citigroup, Apple, Berkshire Hathaway, and Home Depot yesterday as well on these scanners, and it's all on the back of Berkshire Hathaway's purchase of a huge chunk of Citigroup stock and adding it onto their portfolio. Let's look at the chart today as well. So you have Citigroup. Again, yes, it's done them really very well. So on the back of yesterday, you can see this the price popped, and the volumes are also very good. That's excellent. And it looks like in every which way, it looks like a bottom has been established and it's looking to move upwards. And again, going back to the news, we have the news about Warren Buffett betting on Citigroup. We've seen the news from yesterday, very similar conversations happening. Well, actually, it's the last 24 hours. So it's yesterday's news that we're looking at. That's great. Citi doing really well on the back of the news. As you can see, the price popped. Let's look at Berkshire Hathaway. Again, the price movement looks very positive. Volumes look good. News is great. As you can see, Warren Buffett buys 2.6 billion in Paramount stocks. And Paramount has done really well on the back of this. I'm going to go back and look at Para. There we go. Oh, you can see the price just went. It's just kind of popped on the back of the news, and the volumes are really quite good. It's really it's very interesting. If you look at this is on the 17th. This is the 17th, and then it's a gap up. It could happen that it fills the gap and then moves up further from here. That could definitely happen, or it could just kind of ignore and go straight up. But I definitely feel that there'll be a bit of a consolidation before it moves up. But it's all very positive, especially with the volumes as well coming in to back the positive news, which is great. Let's look at Home Depot again. It featured on yesterday's scanners, positive news scanners. They've done really well in terms of their annual sales forecast, and that shows here as well. There's a lot of confidence that's been restored in the stock. You can see the volumes, they're really quite high. You could definitely consider them as above average when you look at the last few days. Looking at Apple has been one of those technology stocks that have suffered in the last few months, but looks like most of the stocks are kind of found the bottom and they're just trying to move up. In terms of volumes, well, they've had some really huge volumes right here at the bottom on the 12th. So it could see, a pullback from these levels. And clearly, it's Apple is one of Warren Buffett's one of the stocks in Warren Buffett's portfolio. So with all the news around Berkshire Hathaway rallying for a bit. AMD, let's look at what's driving the news and the positive sentiment on AMD. Volumes are pretty average. I mean, not bad at all. Most of these volumes the last couple of days have been way above average, which is always a positive sign at these levels. Yeah, great. So there's been an upgrade and on the stock by analysts, and the price has seen an upward movement. That's always positive. So, stocks like AMD and such who make, the gaming GPU and such, these stocks are really here to stay and do really well over a period of time now and in the foreseeable future, because they support the entire gaming ecosystem and also crypto mining as well of the altcoins and even Ethereum. So these companies might take a beating in the short term, but in the long term, they're very bullish. If people do not want to invest in the cryptos directly, this is a way of investing, without too much risk, because you're supporting the infrastructure, and it's quite it's a way to get into the market without getting into the crypto market if you're wary of the huge sharp rise and fall in markets and the volatility bothers you. You should these are the sorts of stocks that you should be looking at. Pfizer, again, some positive news coming in. These are all very, very good levels to get in, I suppose, into most of the stocks that we're looking at. They're very good levels to get in. What about Pfizer's? They've got a FDA authorizes Pfizer's booster for children age 5 to 11, but CDC must still approve. Okay, that's positive. Whilst they're waiting for the CDC approval, they have got the FDA authorization, and that's always positive. BABA, well, most of the Chinese stocks are looking very positive, at least in the eyes of the analysts. So if you look at JP Morgan updates China's tech sector, says it's time to buy these stocks. We'll have to wait and watch. I mean, there's a whole lot of lockdown and such that's happening in China, and they invariably have an impact on the manufacturing industry because most of products are built out of China. So we'll wait and watch if this upgrade is something that we can go by. I would possibly wait for a bit before I see things improving around the COVID situation in China. CBX. Yes, Chevron has, there's a lot of positive news around Chevron ever since Berkshire Hathaway added it to their portfolio a day ago. So as you can see, Berkshire sold the last of its Wells Fargo shares, more than quadrupled its aviation Blitz's stake, and placed a fresh wager on Paramount Global. And yes, in this, well, the headline of the news on Business Insider is about these stocks. They have also added Chevron to their portfolio at this point in time. So we have Google and JD. JD again, a Chinese play. We can see there's been an upgrade by JP Morgan, and all of this will definitely have an impact straight away. And then again, JD has done really well with their earnings this quarter, and that's always positive. So let's just take a look at Google before we go into JD. A lot of the Motley Fool is an article about 2 stocks that are really safe to get onto, and that's looked at. Our scanners have picked it up as positive news, and Google is one of the stocks being mentioned over there. And here is another comparison in Seeking Alpha. There is a comparison between Microsoft versus Google, which is the better buy. In Q1, Microsoft and Alphabet reported healthy year-on-year growth rates of 18 and 24% respectively. Both businesses remain highly profitable, and they both have massive capital return programs in place. Microsoft beats expectation on both top and bottom line in Q1 with particularly strong numbers for Azure. That's great because cloud is where the world is moving, and that's positive in every which way, in terms of future growth and market capitalization as well. It's fantastic. So if we were to look a little bit, let's see if we can see any interesting. Well, I'll have to register, so I'm not at this point, and I don't want to be registering. So let me just go out, and do feel free to go into Seeking Alpha and register for their service and read the article if that's what you want to do. Then 12 growth blue chip bargains. I'm buying hand over fist. So there we go. This is again another article in Seeking Alpha about tech stocks and blue chip bargains, and clearly it is a bargain at this point in time. There's a lot of talk about a stock market crash. Will it happen? Will it not? We'll have to wait and watch. We're heading into the summer season, and summer is normally quiet, but a market crash at these levels, I wouldn't be too sure. But would there be a better opportunity to buy? Possibly. Okay, this is always positive when you see these open source services and new zero trust offerings for enterprises. That's amazing. Meaning we are moving to a more open infrastructure, a more collaborative environment where it is where people will begin to share and new ideas emerge. So you're going away from having a monopoly or kind of holding everything close to your chest and actually letting others come in and innovate, which is always a very positive news. And what Google Cloud has done is launched a new assured open source service and a zero trust security solution for enterprise. So that's great. A zero trust security is amazing because this is all about a trustless system is what the world is moving towards with the blockchain and technology and such. So great, sounds interesting. And when there is a comparison between Microsoft and Google, for me, I think both are great plays. Let's look at JD.com, again, another Chinese company listed on the NASDAQ exchange. Volumes are doing great, and on the back of all the positivity and the upgrade. How has it performed? The last time the volumes went up, as you can see, it had that push up, and then it just kind of moved sideways. Could something similar happen now? It's possible. So if you were to just go, zoom out a little bit, yeah. So yeah, so we have seen these are huge, very huge volumes actually. So it's definitely possible from here on. We could see a slight upwards movement. Microsoft again on positive news. They've had some very good results, and in terms of your business forecast and the way they're looking forward into the future, it's amazing because the Azure, that's very cloud-based platforms, have done exceptionally well for them. And if that's the way it's going, it's just absolutely positive with all the work, all the Web3 development and such that is happening on the cloud. It's really important that we see the Google Cloud and Azure and AWS cloud services do well and come through stronger on their in the quarterly results, and we're seeing that with Microsoft, and which is very positive. So again, an article in Investor Place, which we have picked up as positive news. There are these are the best blue chip stocks to buy now: MMM, AMG, and BA, JPM, and Microsoft. Great investments, great ideas. Definitely, probably the top blue chip stock to pick up, and Microsoft. I can see why it features on that article, and definitely a good buy, I suppose. NVIDIA. Right. The Motley Fool has an article that you can invest $300 a month in these three, could make you a millionaire by retirement. And NVIDIA is one of them. Great. Great, yeah. So without a doubt, with the Web3 and the metaverse, these stocks are definitely bullish, and that is NVIDIA and Microsoft. Both of these companies are really leading the way when it comes to metaverse. In terms of the hardware, you need NVIDIA, because NVIDIA supports the hardware in the back end. So let's look at this article. NVIDIA stands to gain from the metaverse in multiple ways. In fact, the graphic specialist is always reaping the benefits of this emerging tech trend by powering meta platforms, supercomputers that's supposed to help support the metaverse growth. Okay, very interesting. Again, the graphic cards, they're not going anywhere. This is huge. I can't stress enough. You need this for anything and everything, from gaming to mining to having those amazing metaverse that we would like to go in and do a shopping in, or play games, or just wonder about. You need the graphic processing units, and you cannot do without them. Twilio's had a gap up, and huge volumes coming in. Not Twilio, apologies. It's Take-Two Interactive Software. It's had a gap up, and it's moved. It's had a huge volumes coming in. So Take-Two Interactive shares are trading higher Tuesday after the company reported better than expected financial results and issued guidance above analyst estimates. Take-Two says financial fourth quarter revenue increased 11% year on year to 930 million with beat. So it's moving towards the 1 billion mark, and that's always a magic number. And if they're given a beat, it's very exciting. Looking if it heads towards the 1 billion, things could dramatically change for the company. The shares of video game name Take-Two Interactive Software are up 10% at 121 this morning, following the firm's financial fourth quarter earnings report. It's been positive, and gaming is going parabolic at this point in time with all the attention on metaverse and NFTs. I can see completely why the company is doing well and why it's possibly given an issued a guidance that is increased its guidance basically. Because we've only just scratched the surface with metaverse. There's so many opportunities and so many revenue streams that are just waiting to be unlocked. And gaming and gamification is the way to go, with everybody from Facebook and all the tech giants getting into the space. Okay, there's a physical gold ETF. Yesterday, it had a pop because of the news that was out there, but I think it's going to just move sideways for a bit, whilst it's really had that run up, a really strong bullish run now, and it might just consolidate. But if you look at the volumes are pretty high in terms of volumes. It's comparable to the last time. It kind of had that nice move up. The volumes have been quite high. So going back to the news, this is gold extended bounce from 3 months low. So this is more like a technical point, a point where a reversal was expected, and that's possibly why you can see these huge volumes that have come in. So we're looking at Sea Limited again, a gaming and multimedia company, and I tell you, if these gaming and multimedia companies play it right, they could be the future Microsofts and Facebooks and Apple. With the amount of money that's going into the metaverse, there's a huge amount there's a lot of potential with these companies. The shares of Shopee owner C surges 14% after stronger than expected revenue. Okay. For e-commerce stocks to watch. How far can Sea Limited go after jumping from bullish pin bar at $50 bottom? Okay. Yeah, there's a whole lot of positive news. Very exciting times for these sorts of companies. Huge positive news. We've not had this sort of strong positive news for a really long time. And in terms of volume looks pretty good. But the last time we had these sort of volumes, the price did not kind of, we didn't see the sort of price move upward movement. But then again, there's a lot of negative news, as you can see over here. There's a lot of positive news. So we could see a upward movement. Let's just kind of zoom out a little bit and see where it is in terms of, okay, it's really at one of those critical turning points where it either goes up or down further, and with all the positivity that's come in, it's definitely possible we would see another leg up from here. Sure, why not? Yeah. So the Motley Fool has come out and said that the Amazon stock is a no-brainer at this price, and we've picked this up as positive news. Definitely, I don't see why. So there's another crypto news that is 12 growth blue chip bargains. I'm buying hand over fist. Again, this is one of the stocks that is featured in this article, and my social pulse has picked it up as a positive news. And definitely at these levels, Amazon looks really interesting. Again, there's a whole lot of conversation that is happening around a market crash, but we'll have to wait and watch. So the last time we've had these many, how many green days have we had here? So it's here one. Let's kind of pull back a little bit and go into a 3-month chart. At 2, 3. Let's go to all. So we have how many weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, 6 negative weeks. That's a lot. So we've had something 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So the last time we had this sort of strong downward movement, we saw a bit of consolidation before it moved up. So as you can see, this is probably the last time we've had this sort of a huge downward movement for a really long time, right? And this is way back in 2018. Okay. So that's one of those it's what you can compare it to. So it's in August all the way up till December. Okay. But most of these tech giants look at a very, very attractive price at these price points. And I would, most investors would take lead from someone like Warren Buffett, and he seems to be investing, and he's always the sorts of person who invests when the market is fearful. And even our indicators show that, my social pulse indicators show that the market is fearful, and that's why he's investing. Again, not financial advice. You'll have to make your own decisions. Let's look at negative news. Okay, so we have Walmart, Netflix, Twitter, TGT, JP Morgan, McDonald's, Wells Fargo, and then we have ALIZY. Let's take a look at. So Walmart is at 131, and there's a huge drop and crazy volumes coming in. Never a good sign. But let's see what's okay. Yes, of course. So the war is having a huge impact on Walmart for sure, because the fuel prices have just gone parabolic. Have just increased, have soared over the last last month or so with the war in Russia and Ukraine, and that's having a huge impact on its price. And what else? Walmart shares fall after Q1 earnings, lowering full year ESP outlook. Okay, not good, not good. And I guess this sort of, you will see the sort of instability within the discount store space, because they rely heavily on transportation. And if the cost of transportation is going to go up, it's going to directly impact their business. Either they'll have to increase prices or take that cut, and it'll show somehow somewhere, either on their books, or it'll have to pass it on to the customer. And it's definitely had that impact, this war on Walmart. So let's go into Netflix. Right. So Netflix trims 150 jobs amid subscription growth slowdown. Um, it is a worry when you see subscription growth slow down. It could be one too many reasons. One is that you have new market players. You have Disney doing really well. They've been doing a lot of acquisitions across the world, and they seem to be getting a lot of local content. And I mean, Disney's doing a lot of acquisition and bringing a lot of local content into their streaming platform, which is always positive. And then you have Netflix now struggling because of that. Whilst they have a lot of local content, maybe they probably will start looking at some sort of acquisition to bring in more user base as well. So that's had an impact, and they've lost, and they have cut about 150 jobs. Also, given that we're moving away from the lockdown and people are less at home, and organizations are encouraging individuals to go back to work, these streaming services might take a hit. So again, negative news picked up by the My Social Pulse scanner from Proactive Investor. Netflix shares dumped by hedge funds even before its recent gloomy results. Okay, so that's never good, because they've not even waited for the results, and even before the results, they've actually offloaded shares, and not positive. Twitter. Okay, so oh well, it looks like it's really chaotic out there. I mean, this article is on the crypto news article in Business Insider. It's picked up by My Social Pulse as negative. The Twitter lost 3 more top executive amid Elon Musk takeover drama. There's a lot happening. There's a lot of questions being raised by Elon. He says, my offer was based on Twitter's SEC filings being accurate. And so now he's questioning if the filings are accurate at all. And there's a lot of back and forth. We'll have to wait and watch and see where this goes from here. Again, in terms of price, it's way below what it was, as in at the time when he actually made that offer. You can see it just gapped up and it went all the way up, and that was it peaked at about $53, and ever since it's been, with all the negative news, you see it's just been heading downwards. Target, again, another discount store, and I wouldn't be surprised it's a similar story as we saw with Walmart, wherein they're under tremendous pressure because of fuel costs. Yeah, yes, clearly. So what they've done is choppy opening bells. Yeah, Target lowers. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so there's a warning signs that Carlsberg joint venture is not expected to make profits this year. Okay, as electricity and other costs increase. So it really seems like there's a theme here with these sort of discount stores where the cost of shipping and cost of electricity is having a knock-on effect on their profit margins. Okay. So JP Morgan shareholders rejected 52 million payout to Jamie Dimon. Okay. I'm not sure why that's okay. That's negative news, but yeah, definitely. So JP Morgan Chase has rejected this the special 52.6 million stock options award directors gave to CEO Jamie Dimon last year to stay on the job for at least 5 more years. Okay, that's interesting. Only 31% of voters cast in a shareholder advisory referendum on Tuesday supported this. Alliance. So there's a lot of negative news around Alliance, Germany Alliance. Basically, they've had to pay out about 6 billion and its US asset management unit will plead guilty to fraud after a group of its multi-billion investment funds collapsed during the pandemic in 2022. So that's a huge fine. And those are definitely worrying signs. McDonald negative news. That's interesting. Oh, wow. Okay. Not a good look for. So as you can see, McDonald's exits Russia, China, Turkey, Brazil, and India step in. Okay. So McDonald, I mean, they exit Russia, but everything else steps in. With a worst case scenario of 30 to 40% of stores left empty in Russia, in Russian malls, the Russian Council of Shopping Center has sent missions to Turkey and China to woo Eastern brands to replace Western retailers. Okay, very interesting, very, very interesting. So that's a huge market, and I can imagine, them leaving Russia was going to have a huge impact on their bottom lines. This is extremely interesting and very, very negative news, given Russia is a huge market. Well, of course, I understand that they do not want to support the war, but for the company itself, it can be quite damaging. I completely understand where they're coming from. Wells Fargo and Company. Charlie's Cap says, while a recession in the US seems hard to avoid, the strength of businesses and customers would dampen its impact. Okay. So Wells Fargo has been downgraded, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Berkshire Hathaway offloaded here. No, here's every stock Warren Buffett bought or sold. Okay, and Wells maintains status as #1 ACH organization for the 10 consecutive year. So here are all the stocks on its portfolio now. Oxy, then HP, Citigroup, Paramount, we go. And I think they added. So these are all the stocks that got added to the portfolio. And I really want to see sold first. There we go. Wells Fargo was sold. And that is not a, if you look at the, it's not too much when you compare the sorts of, proportions that they hold on their portfolio, but they did offload. And that's why you can see the, the downward pressure on the price as well. And Berkshire Hathaway is a big name. And if you see that they are offloading, that is worrying, at least for the short term for these stocks. Looking at some more stock news, China Eastern Airlines Corporation Limited. It's got negative news and it's at about $16 or so. Okay, so they've recovered the black box from the Chinese Eastern Airlines plane that crashed with 132 people on it. And so they're investigating, and flight data suggests someone in the cockpit pushed the plane into a nosedive. Okay, so that's a lot of news around the accident and what they have identified within the black box, the conversations, that is. Now let's look at some positive crypto news that's out there. Again, this is live and we're looking at the last 24 hours. And we have BTC, Ethereum, ADA, Matic, Sol, XLM, Algo, KCS, Link, LTC, and more. Let's look at BTC. There's a lot of positive news coming in today. Again, a really nice bottom, huge volumes. Let's just kind of step back a bit and look at it in a more meaningful way. So could be a gap up. As you can see, there is a gap. So there could be, they'll try and fill the gap, but I mean, this is just my opinion. I don't see it just going straight up from here. There could be a bit of consolidation before the next leg up. In terms of volumes, it looks very good. We've not seen these sort of volumes in a really long time. The last time we saw volumes like this was in April 2021. Bitcoin is stable above the 29,600 support is an article that My Social Pulse has picked up as positive. So here is a crypto news that's picked up positive, and it says Bitcoin is stable at the 29,600 support against the US dollar. BTC must clear the 31,350 resistance to start a decent increase. Still positive. Then El Salvador plays host to developing economies to delve deeper into Bitcoin adoption. It's always, they're leading the way in many ways. It's very exciting for the crypto and Bitcoin community, and love to see how they take it forward and as a nation. 40K Bitcoin deposited to exchange since May 11, but here is the good news. The latest on-chain data reveals increasing outtake from retailers and large investors and their behavior in terms of BTC holdings due to the recent crash. Yeah. Here are a few signals that point to a strong possibility of a recovery. So there's another crypto news on AMB crypto that we have picked up, that My Social Pulse has picked up. Again, there's a lot of positive news coming in. Ethereum. Huge volume. These are very, very huge volumes. So it's it's possible that we're hitting some sort of technical uh, support levels. Yeah, yes, definitely. So these are all very, very strong support levels, and it's possible that we might see some positive momentum from here. If we don't, then it will be quite dangerous because we're going to go down. So let's hope that we takes support at these levels and moves up. Great. So you can see mainstream companies, tech, the future tech giants like Cloudflare are taking up Ethereum, and they will be running the Ethereum validator node as part of its Web3 focus, which is very good news. So over 5,505 Ether connected to the Ronin exploit address seems to be on the move via privacy exchange. Tornado uh, Cash blockchain data shows. So it's at key support levels, and that's why a lot of people are watching these stocks at this point, these crypto coins at this point in time. So while Ethereum is trading inside a short-term bullish pattern, the long-term price action and indicators reading are both bearish. Okay. So as you can see, it could happen that there's a lot of downward movement for a really long time. So there's a sort of exhaustion. You can't just go straight down. So there will be a pullback before it might again consolidate and move down, and before the next leg up. Invariably, these we will see a positive trend, but not soon. We probably have to wait a few months or even year to see that huge parabolic move up. But for now, we can definitely see small short-term price movements, or to the upside. But we'll have to wait for the really long-term price movement. And let's look at ADA. Again, a lot of positive news coming in. So the positive news, crypto news that we picked up is from Investor Place. And you're seeing that the article says that there are 7 cheap cryptos to buy now. I can imagine ADA being one of them, with Ether and Bitcoin and all the top 7 cryptocurrency being on that list for sure. We can go into the article if that helps. And okay, you have XRP, Cardano, Tron, Polygon, Stellar, Algorand, all of these appearing in the article. Very interesting. Surely, Polygon is one of those projects that I really follow, and it's a great project. We have Algorand, which is good as well. Cardano, Polygon, and then Stellar, all great projects. Matic. So I'm going to pause this for a bit. So let me just mute my Hi there, we're back on. Let's look at Sol. Okay, a lot of positive news coming in. Sol founder shares details of major upgrade. Oh, that's very exciting. So there's a lot of news around the 1.110 upgrade. And they've been so analysts have been very bullish about the price. The price may continue to rise in the short term, but a pullback is possible if price falls fails to break about 53.3. Let's look at the price at this point in time. The price is at 57 with no volumes coming in. So my best guess is that it might just fill this gap. But if you look at these sort of this pattern, it feels like it's going to drop from here, and then it might again go up. But the short term, we could see a small price correction, small downward movement, not a correction, and then move up. But these are all long-term plays, especially with an upgrade coming in, and with the sort of project these, Solana is. I wouldn't be. These are great prices to get in, I suppose. Again, not financial advice. You've got to do your own analysis, but these are definitely great prices to be in. You'll see this is a huge. It was huge resistance, and now this is a huge support. So it peaked at 202, and this is your now this has formed your support. So it could definitely kind of move up from here. I mean, it'll be very worrying if it breaks this and comes down, but we'll wait and watch. My best guess is it's just going to move sideways for the next few years, at least for the next 6-7 months to a year for sure. Stellar Lumen again, positive price prediction. In this Stellar Lumen price prediction, we explain whether XLM is a good asset to buy and what to expect in the near term. And this is picked up as positive news, crypto news from Investing Cube. Another positive crypto news that my social pulse has picked up is Bitcoin has traded between the 30K and 28K mark for the better part of the past week, and its sideways price action was imitated across much of the altcoin market. Stellar Lumen and Matic struggled to break past strong zones of resistance overhead. Let's look at the article. There we go. So this is the Stellar Lumen price chart, and Matic again holding that line. Tezor has kind of held the support. If it breaks, you're going to see it go down. If it holds, it's going to go up because there's no resistance all the way up to these levels. It's a good article. And so again, looking at the scanners, the My Social Pulse positive news scanners, you have Algo. When we go into Algo, what do we see? Okay, yeah, volumes have been quite high for the last couple of weeks. Not the most recent week, but the one past it. Volumes have been quite high. Is Algorand worth buying after Universal Music Group deal with LimeWire? So Algorand is a public blockchain network that has its own native cryptocurrency token called Algo. And Algo is used to power the network. Algorand uses a consensus mechanism known as pure proof of stake, where algo holders get randomly selected to validate and approve new blocks on the chain. Algorand has become the home to many non-fungible tokens. Then the post, okay, there we go. So it's always interesting when you see these blockchains with proof of stake. You definitely see, that is the way to go, because people do not want proof of work, and there's a whole lot of environmental challenges around proof of work with the energy that is being used. And I like their sort of style of approving new blocks, because it's more it's very randomized, so it's not based on how much algo coins you have, but more a very random approach, which is great. So you're not too much power is vested in people who hold a lot of coins, but it's very democratized in many ways, which is great. So KCS has had a lot of positive news over the last few days, more so because of valuations after their last round of what is that? Fundraising. They've now valued at 10 billion. That's huge. So let's look at what's the other crypto positive news that we have picked up for KuCoin. So KuCoin is a Seychelles-based crypto exchange that was launched in 2017. The exchange is best known for competitive fees, high liquidity, and multiple methods of passive earning. Okay. The worldwide leading crypto exchange, KuCoin, is all set to list the decentralized USD. Okay, is USDD on its platform. Okay, so another stable coin. I really worry when I see these stable coins, but let's just hope there is some, sensible, way of managing it. I mean, not just by algorithm, and even if you're doing it by algorithm, whether if it's got the right algorithm to back it, and if it's USD, let's hope they have the required results to do this, which is looking at link. So link chain price analysis, link price consolidates at the 7.5 mark as sentiment turns positive. Yes, very much the sentiment turns positive, and my social pulse has picked up positive sentiment. And crypto investors are finally seeing some green days. Here's why. So there's an article that goes on to talk about Cardano, Solana, and Chainlink, and why they're recovering. Again, some more positive crypto news. And Ethereum whales pick up Chainlink and 3 additional DeFi altcoins as crypto markets stabilize. Great. So we saw some news about a whale picking up a few 100 billion Shiba yesterday. And today we have some more news about whales picking up Chainlink. So let's just look into this article. This is positive news. This is very, very positive crypto news. So here are the top 10 purchased coins. You have USDC, Ethereum, USDT, UST, Nexo, UMA, Link. UMA, that's very interesting. I would want to understand a little more about UMA. UMA is a platform designed to allow developers to build synthetic assets. That's very, very exciting. I really want to know a little more about these guys, and I'll probably come back and do a video on these guys a little later for sure. Okay, looks like they're in the DAO space, and there's a lot of hype and excitement around the DAO space, given we're going beyond just finance, decentralized finance and decentralized exchanges and decentralized money, to now saying we're creating a decentralized organization. So I can see why there's a lot of excitement, but I need to do my research and come back and talk a little more about UMA. I mean, if they are in the DAO space, I'll love to kind of understand a little more about them. So again, going back to Chainlink price analysts show link price on the up and providing a bullish sentiment over the current trend. Price rose more than 8% during the day's trading, rising from lows of 5.5 reach. Okay, and this was on May 12, 2022. So Litecoin brings a smile to my face whenever I see Litecoin with positive news. So analysts see a bullish momentum, continuing in the Litecoin price charts. Let's go and look at ANKR. Anchor offers Web3 developers the tools they need to build innovative solutions in record time. Okay, great. So these are the tools we as developers will need to build the Web3. And as we know, during the gold rush, it was the companies that made the pickaxes and the Levi's of the world that did really well. If this company goes on to become that sort of backbone in the Web3 development space, we will see some, this company could see some exciting future. Avex, another great play. This company has done really well since the bull run, and as you can see, it peaked at about 95, and it's around 32 price point. And these are all very, very solid. These are all they've got fantastic fundamentals and very solid crypto in place. So the news is the positive news is around Avax rebound on Tuesday, and AAVE is up over 10%. So global crypto markets are up over 2% during Tuesday's session, with AAVE and Avax, two of the biggest tokens to rise. Both of these cryptocurrencies rebound from losses during yesterday's session, with AAVE trading as much as 10% higher. AAVE rebounds during Tuesday's trading session as bulls return to action after a recent three-day. Okay. A popular crypto analyst says the two Ethereum challengers could move hard and fast during the next bounce in digital asset market. Well, yes, Solana and Avalanche are definitely right on top, but yeah, they're a challenger. I'm so glad that people are now no more calling new blockchains killer, like Ethereum killer, and it's more of a challenger, which is great. I mean, it's great to see that sort of language come through. Yes, these are great plays. Solana is a great play. Avalanche is a great play, and we'll wait and watch. Well, I think I spoke too quickly. So there you go. These two Ethereum killers poised to break out this week. I mean, I don't get it. There's no killer, maybe a challenger to the most at the most. I don't think anything can kill Ethereum. They definitely have the first movers advantage, and they have a fantastic leader, at the forefront of it. So I wouldn't, ever kind of think that anything can kill Ethereum. But all amazing projects, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a great project and I'm sure it'll do really well. Crons is crowing up as more than just its price sees a rally. Exchanges have been seeing a lot of drama lately, and no wonder, especially after the recent Terra debacle, which sent shockwaves through both centralized and tax exchanges. Yeah. And again, there's the news, the positive crypto news that we are picking up is that Investor Place has listed Cron as one of the cheap cryptos to invest at this point in time. A promising metaverse coin like Decentralized and Cron. See why? Well, you have to watch any of these decentralized play, especially within the metaverse, because this could be like how we have seen this, the first wave was all about Bitcoin and crypto coins. The second wave was all about projects and just a glimpse of what metaverse could do. I think the next wave is going to be predominantly metaverse and something new that is going to come through for sure, because we've seen metaverse in this cycle, and I think in the 23-24 we will probably see metaverse along with something else. So you'll see your crypto coins, your traditional, I say traditional, but crypto coins that are just supposed to be currencies or store of value, and then DeFi's, and then metaverse, and along with that we'll probably see something brand new come through. And these metaverse plays is definitely something you want to be involved and be part of. If you're not going to invest, at least I would recommend read up and understand, because this is the future. AAVE, there was a lot of hype when they did the, I don't have my charts over here. Sorry, we've not picked up my social pulse, not picked up the charts, but AAVE is, the play is about AAVE coin and the sale of the metaverse, sale of their land, their metaverse land. And ever since the price was trending downward, and that's the story behind AAVE. Let's go and look at some negative sentiment crypto news. Wow, okay, great. Luna again and again, and USD again, and UDT again. Well, they literally bought down the entire crypto market this time, and we've had many stable coins that are not done well, but I think this is probably the worst, because there was a lot of excitement around Luna and its algorithm-based stable coin approach. So it is a shame that it's seeing this fate. So the recent collapse of the Terra ecosystem has drawn the attention of regulators worldwide. Financial ministers of the G7 nations are meeting ahead this week and shall be discussing crypto assets on a priority basis. Okay, that's no surprise. Technicals hinted collapse of Luna. Okay, love it when pundits come out there and start saying that they already predicted before it happened. But yeah, well, if he's done it, great. So WeChain Foundation inviting Terra developer over to WeChain after UST and Luna collapse. Oh, fantastic. I mean, WeChain is an amazing project. And if developers are moving into WeChain, I think it's going to be great for both the WeChain ecosystem and for the developers as well. And there's a lot of support that is coming in for developers and projects on Luna. So it's great to see the blockchain community coming around and rallying around the individuals involved in the Luna project. So that's great. So trade traders who predicted Luna crash expected this token to fall, expects this token to follow. Oh, come on, I'm not going to that news. I think I can't see it being. MIA, negative news. AXS, negative news. Okay, hack, not a good sign. So AXS Infinity suffers another hack, this time on Discord. Okay. So Axie Infinity on Wednesday said the MEE6 bot on its main server was hacked. The team said the hacker used the MEE bot to add permissions to a fake GHO account, making fake announcements about a mint. Oh, wow, that's really worrying because, okay, so they're huge within the NFT space, and the last thing you want is this sort of craziness, because if there's a fake minting announcement, I'm sure it would have gone out to a whole lot of either coin holders or new investors, and you don't want that sort of confusion. So Axie Infinity NFT and other projects fall victim of a phishing attack. So that's not good. What are the other platforms? So messaging platform Discord server of multiple large NFT collections and crypto projects, including pay-to-earn game Axie Infinity, has been compromised with attackers publishing phishing links that appear to be NFT mints. So it looks like it was a very well orchestrated attack, and at the right time with all the negative news. So just playing into people's fears. You can only feel bad, and you've just got to watch it. It's the wild west. Anything to do with the crypto market. So watch yourselves. Be careful, and do your own research. Very important. Do your own research. You go into the Discords. Don't just click on links just like that. Again, this is as real as it gets. Just imagine if you're within this community, within the Discord, and you get a link, and you would have probably thought there's nothing wrong in clicking on it, but you've got to be really careful. So even if you suspect a little bit that there's something wrong, if you do not see that there was a minting announcement a few weeks in advance prior, right? You definitely know there's no truth to it. So you've got to watch these sort of things. It's not easy, but definitely I would recommend, thinking twice before you click a link on any of these Discords or anything. So EOS was this absolutely amazing project when it came up, but really it's not been going anywhere since. Let's see what's happening with EOS. Yeah, there you go. So new hope for the struggling EOS blockchain. Backed by serious investors, the EOS networks was once touted among the fastest third-generation blockchain networks, but really didn't hold up to all that hype, and it's not gone anywhere since the launch in 2017. So great. So we've looked at the stocks, the positive news, and stocks with negative news. We've looked at cryptos with positive news and cryptos with negative news over the last 24 hours. We'll probably look at short squeeze scanners and hot stock scanners as well today. Why not? So looking at the short squeeze scanner, how do you read the scanner? This is basically the scanners at My Social Pulse go into social media and identify the top short squeeze conversations that are happening on social media. And then we overlay the short float information. As you can see, roadblocks and GME are in green, meaning the short float the conversations on social media tie in with the actual fundamentals. And GME, the short float has gone up to 26, and Roblox is 40%. That's huge, really huge. So when we click on Roblox, there we go. This is very interesting. There's possibly been a sort of a squeeze that's happened, and could this price move any further from here? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the volumes come in. I'm very sure that there could be a slight push up, because these are huge levels in terms of the short float, right? 40% has been shorted by the markets. It's huge. It's huge. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody within the Reddit communities picks this up and rallies around this stock. Yeah, and a whole lot of news. This is the news that we're looking at, and the news also ties in with what we're saying, what we're seeing on social media. So we are scanning Twitter and Reddit to get this information about short squeeze, and then we overlaid with the short float information that is available. Then penny stocks, again, let's look at penny stocks. GME featuring on the penny stock scanner as well in terms of conversation, a lot of conversations on GME. Having said that, there's a lot of negative news around GME, so I wouldn't get on to that. Fubo is another stock with about 21% short float, and it's appearing in the penny stock scanners. Okay, the volumes are pretty good, and could this? So it's like a punt. Somebody is actually suggesting. So the positive news that's picked up by the My Social Pulse scanners is that Investor Place has written an article about buy Fubo TV's stock for fabulous odds of big profits. So great. Have a great day, guys, and happy investing. Stay safe. Don't fall for any of these phishing links, and enjoy your day and happy investing. Take care. Speak to you tomorrow. Bye.